Hey everyone, what's going on? Thanks for tuning back into Relevant Jukebox. So we're moving right along here on my vinyl update series with a batch of another 10 records. So I hope everyone's doing well, hope everyone's feeling well, and I'm not going to waste any more of your time. Let's get right into it. Starting off with a new record that I just got in the mail. I enjoy quite a bit from this year. The Garden's Kiss My Super Bowl Ring. Now, if you were to come at me and say, you know, Chris, this record's a meme, I would agree with you, and I love it. This is a mix-up of a lot of different things in the worlds of like punk and rap and like electronic music. It's like all over the place. Kind of reminds me a little bit of 100 gecs in their approach to writing, which Dylan Brady does have production credits on a few tracks here. This was the limited green vinyl, which looks really nice. I picked this up through their website, and I think it's still available. But yeah, I mean, I thought this record was really interesting, more unique sounding than a lot of stuff that I usually come across. It did come with a nice inner sleeve here with some lyrics on it, if you guys are interested in that. Next up here is a record that kind of went under the radar, I think, of a lot of people from last year, and this is Juan's Laughing Matter. Now, this is a cool little blend of rock going on here. I mean, it gets a lot of comparisons to like Radiohead because, you know, the vocalist kind of sounds like Tom York. Even some of the instrumentation kind of reminds me of Radiohead at times, but not as good, obviously. This is just a standard black vinyl here. But, you know, it throws it back to right around the like turn of the century indie rock kind of blend. Like if you're into like Wilco, Death Cab, stuff like that, I would suggest checking out this album. Some really good songs on here. There's a nice little gatefold of the band to show you guys. All right, moving right along. Pretty awesome experimental R&B record. I have Tirzah's Devotion. Now this is my introduction to Tirzah overall, and when I was looking into this record, I found out that Makachu of Makachu and the Shapes did a lot of the production on here. So that's where I think that experimental edge comes from. But this is a really awesome album. Do not overlook this one. This is the Bleep exclusive. It's on translucent orange. I do believe this was out of 200 or 300. I can't really remember. And it did come with a really cool extra here. It does have a balloon that I didn't blow up, but just a balloon with Devotion written on it. Pretty cool little exclusive here. Next up, really solid hip-hop album that came out last year, Lil Simz, Gray Area. Now, this is a really awesome record that I think can satisfy just about any hip-hop head. There's even like kind of a Gorillaz flair on some of the instrumentals on here, I think. Really cool gatefold there. And she is a performer. I caught her at Great Scott in Boston about a year ago, and she blew me away, man. She has such an awesome stage presence. This is a white vinyl. It's limited, I believe, or I think this might be the only press of it. I'm not 100% sure, but I picked this up at a local record store, and I highly suggest scooping it, or at least checking this album out if you hadn't heard it before. Next up here, I have another album that came out through Polyvinyl Records, who had a really strong 2019, in my opinion. I have Simz, Anak Ko. Now, this is a cool little singer-songwriter album here. I kind of picked up a whiff of Death Cab through some of it, too. This doesn't really sound like Death Cab, obviously, but some of the melodies reminded me of it. Nice little gatefold with a bunch of pictures. But, you know, if you're interested, like if you like that Julia Jacqueline album, Crushing, maybe give this a shot. And this is a beautiful pressing here. It's like a, I don't even know how to describe it. It's almost like an atomic splatter. It's like a magenta red kind of thing with a white effect going on there. Really, really beautiful presentation. I mean, Polyvinyl always knocks it out of the park, in my opinion, with their vinyl packages. Moving right along, one of my favorite pop records of 2019. I have Ariana Grande's Thank You Next. Now, this was the alternate cover exclusive through her website, so that's why this is black here. But I had to grab this. I still love this record. I think Ariana Grande is amazing. Look at that gatefold there. You know, some solid tracks on here, like, you know, Makeup, In My Head, NASA. I mean, this is just like a solid pop album overall. I love her voice. It's beautiful. This is just a black album right here. Nice little pink labeling, though. I kind of like that. to go with more like the original album cover. Next up here, I have a jazz record that came out early last year by The Comet is Coming, Trust in the Lifeforce of the Deep Mystery. This is a cool album here. This is a jazz trio that's spearheaded by Sabacha Hutchins, and I thought this was really cool. It's got like a futuristic edge to it. Like if you wanted to say like, you know, there's a modern day sounding jazz album, this would probably be one of my picks for one of them. This is, yeah, just a standard black vinyl here, but it's nice thick pressing, and it's on the Impulse label, which is really cool. It's got that like classic, well, throwing almost classic, like a new age spin on the Impulse label. But this is really cool. I mean, there's even spots on this record that I pick up whiffs of like Death Grips. And, you know, it's not Death Grips jazz, obviously, but man, that would be a meme and a half. Next up, I have a pretty cool collection of rarities, B-sides, unreleased stuff from Tobacco, Ripe and Majestic. Now, this is like a lot of outtakes, I believe, from Tobacco over the years that are just, you know, compiled and being released for the first time on vinyl. There's some really good stuff on here. You know, I'm a big fan of Tom Feck, especially his work under Black Moth, Super Rainbow, but even his Tobacco projects where he goes a little crazier, gets a little weirder. I love it. I love the fuzzy synthesizers. Like his whole world is just really intriguing to me. And this is a silver vinyl here. I believe this was the only variant that was released. I could be wrong on that. I picked this one up at a local record store, and it sounds nice. Again, this is just like a fun record to kind of just like throw on and have in the background as it's kind of like going crazy. Next up, an album that I picked up right around Christmas time last year that I was surprised I didn't have already, but the Playboi Carti, self-titled. Yes, Where the Hell is Die Lit? Why is that not on vinyl? This is a really awesome one, though. I am glad this is out on a physical format at least. And it's got a really nice labeling situation going on. I love it, just like the plain red with the butterfly. Because I think Whole Lotta Red is going to be right around the corner. But I think overall, I still do prefer Die Lit. I don't really know what happened with that vinyl press. It originally went on sale on his website. He autographed it apparently, but then they all got canceled and we haven't heard a peep since. And last up here is a record that is re-entering my collection. I sold this a little while ago and it was a limited version of it because I don't even know why. I really don't. And I reconnected with it over the past couple of years or so, but I think this might be the best emo record ever. I have Sunny Day Real Estate's Diary. And I had the limited red like reissue when this went up. I picked that one up at a local record store. Look at that gatefold. Really awesome with like all the weird people on it. Yeah, this is just, I don't know, one of those albums that I suppose is going to catch anyone at a random time. And yeah, it happened to me. This is just the black standard reissue. You know, it wasn't expensive. I didn't break the bank on this one. But I just, you know, obviously have this for playing purposes, not for collecting purposes. And yeah, I was kind of like just missing this record. I really wanted to have it again. So that's going to round out this batch of 10 records from my vinyl update. I should be back soon with another one. And I'm getting towards the end of all these recent pickups from over the last year or two. So we're going to start going through my whole collection some point. And as always, thank you for watching. If you like this video, make sure to like and share. And if you want more content from me, hit that subscribe button. Peace.